It's Gage with Alien Card Games. I'm here with.
Connor, and I got 12th place at the Hickory, North Carolina Regional this past Sunday.
Would you play at the regional, Connor?
I played Tenpai Dragon. Again.
Well, it's a consistent record so far. Do you want to show us the profile?
Of course. I cut my list down to 40. I did change it a little bit from the last time I was on the channel, so main engine stayed the same. 3 Pydra, 3 Chundra, 2 Fadra, 3 Sangan Kaiman, 3 Sangan Summoning, probably still the best field spell in the game. The 1 Terraforming, and 3 Pot of Prosperity. I mean, this probably will never change. Once we get the new card in info, this deck will probably be a little bit better, and we don't have to really play a lot more consistency, or not, I don't know, we'll be testing that. So, standard engine, that over to the side. Non-engine, I still played 3 Ash Blossom, still kind of scared of Branded. I actually didn't even see a single Branded player when I played. 2 Ghost Mortar, 2 Ghost Ogre, and I also have 3 Imperm as hand traps. I was playing, I think this is the same as the last time. I valued having Mourner for battle phase shenanigans and other stuff and just dodging shifter. Ghost Ogre I still like for the mirror match and sometimes Snake Eye boards, and Imperm's insane. Other non-engine monster cards I played. I'm still on 3 Kestira Fenrir. This card is still amazing. I love seeing this in every single hand.
I
Gives you just an extra piece of interruption.
feel like that the Fenrir is probably one of the best cards in Tenpai.
It's very nice when you're forced to go first. You can just sit on this and Herratic Seals, and that's 2 or 3 interruptions in itself.
Spheres, Fenrir, and a hand trap should just win you the game,
It
probably.
should win you the game, theoretically. I also played the 1 Bestial Magnum this weekend. I didn't play it in my last list, and I wanted to try it this weekend. It came up like maybe twice against Voiceless. I like being able to at least search out like a Fadra or like a Pydra or something, at least for follow up. It was okay.
It's also a
I think,
consistency card too, right?
yeah, I think I sniped an IP with it over the weekend too, so that was kind of funny. Spell non-engine, I played 3 Crossout. I love how this card comes QCR. I finally got them. 3 Forbidden Droplet. This card is still also nuts. This card won me a lot of games. And 2 Lightning Storm. Kind of underperformed this time. I was mostly studying this out and just putting in like a better form of a board breaker, which my camera, there we go. Camera's acting a little fuzzy. There we go. Underperformed a little bit. Didn't really put it in against the decks I liked, so this was mainly sided out, but when it was there, it was good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lightning Storm hasn't been too great. I'm thinking about cutting it myself.
yeah, a lot of my friends on the deck have been talking about cutting it, but I mean, I'll probably test without it tomorrow at locals or this weekend to see how I like it. So, 40 card main deck. Onto the extra deck. I played 2 Bident. I played 1 Transcendent and 1 Trident Dragon. I think I was playing the second one at Greenville, and I didn't really miss the second one this weekend. I wish. Uh, yeah, I didn't really need to change anything. Black Rose.
How many times
I
did you summon Black Rose?
once. I actually think it won me a game. I believe it only came up once. I don't really remember a lot of my games from Sunday. I was very exhausted coming back home. That was a fun drive home. Shout out to Gage for going with me.
Bro,
Black Rose
I think
Moonlight.
both of us were just extremely tired.
Yeah, we were up all night theorying, and it was just a long day, but it's okay. We had fun.
That's all that matters. Even getting
Yeah.
DQ'd. Shout out.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. 1 Black Rose Moonlight. I think I made this card once. I still like it in theory, just to bounce annoying stuff. I think I made it going first against somebody, and it actually came up. 1 Kui Belt. This card I still like for outing random stuff. 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. I actually didn't go into this at all this weekend. Against my 2 Tenpai mirrors, I actually ended on this a lot. It has a bigger body. You can't activate anything in the battle phase. This card actually is harder to out than this. I may cut this in the future, but I might regret doing that. Those are all my synchros. I was playing Ready Rose originally as well, but I decided last minute I probably don't need it. I didn't miss it. 1x's monster, still the Typhon. I made this once against Melodious just to get my Fodra off the board, and it kind of worked, and then it got bounced, so it was just a bigger body. Then my link package is still Striker Dragon, SP, 2 Hieratic Seals, a Hida, and the Promethean Princess. Double Seals, I actually kind of liked. There were times where I would go through one of them, and then if I couldn't kill them for some reason, I would just drop a second one on them.
For extra follow-up.
Exactly, and summoning out a Fodra or a Pydra during their turn kind of felt nice for my follow-up. Princess actually did come up once, reviving my own Pydra and coming back. Hida was actually nice. I made it the one time I did have to make it, I was playing in Snake Eyes, and I outed their Princess using it, because I just summoned it. He stared me down and said, well, I guess I have to use the Princess now, and I went, thank God.
That's pretty funny.
That was a funny game against the only Snake Eye player I saw. 15 card extra. I probably may throw Ready Rose back in. I gotta do some testing with it. And on to my side deck, which is a lot different from last time I played. 2 Droll and Lockbird. 2 Ghost Bell. Just line that up correctly. These are the only hand traps that I really have in here. Droll kind of came up a couple times. I was watching Logan Kite from Goo Gaming's video about Tenpai, and he said it's kind of nice to mitigate some Snake Eye boards with it, because you make your opponent's boards weaker, and you can just run them over easier. So I thought, when I was watching that with Gage, I'm like, you know what? That sounds kind of okay. Let's try it. It was for Voiceless, too. That deck's just annoying as hell to play against. It was alright. Ghost Spell, I still like in the Mirror Match and in Snake Eyes and some other random stuff, even if Called by the Grave, if somebody called by the Graves on me, which somebody actually did, which was kind of funny. I also played the Kwaki Maru Drago for Branded, Melodious, Voiceless. I didn't see it at all against the Melodious player. I got completely destroyed by round 5. Shout out my buddy Christian for destroying me round 5. And then I found 3 Santa Claus. Gage actually had 3 supers, so I got them off of him. And this card was insanely good. The same Snake Eye player that I stole the Princess from, game 2, he had 1 fire monster on the board, so I just slapped that down and OTK'd him. And I'm like, your Princess is dead, and I'm going in for the kill. Moving on to the spells, I had 1 Change of Heart and 2 Cosmic and the Duster. I decided to side the Harpy's Feather Duster because I didn't really think a lot of back row decks are going to be prevalent. I didn't really see a lot of Floodgates that particular regional, which is kind of weird. Cosmic I sided in a lot more over the Lightning Storm. I kind of want to main these in the future, but I still kind of want to have some form of a board breaker of Lightning Storm. I got to figure out what I want to do. Also, shout out Rarity Collection for having beautiful QCR Cosmics. Now I'm not playing commons anymore, thank God. And my final 3 were D-Barrier, card stupid. I actually did hit it. I actually did hit one with a crossout this weekend. It felt good not drawing it with crossout like I have every other time.
Did you like the? Did you like this side deck a lot more than the previous side deck from the last video we did?
It did feel a little bit better. Change of Heart was kind of a last minute, like, oh, I need a 15th card, sure, why not?
Did that come up at all?
I think I sided in like twice, I never saw it, and I think the one time I did see it, he had like 1 monster, I'm like, I don't really need to take it. But I did like having 3 Santa Claus just to see it more, because this card is stupidly good in this deck.
What were your matchups?
I gotta pull my phone back out for that one. I know it was... Let me pull my... I played against Fire King Tri-Brigade round 1. Round 2 was a Tenpai Dragon Mirror. Round 3 was a Voiceless Voice match. Round 4 was against Centurion. Round 5 was against the Melodious player, my boy Christian.
That was your first loss, right?
That was my first loss. I started 4-0. Round 6 was the Snake Eye player. Round 7 was another Voiceless Voice. And round 8 was a Tenpai Dragon Mirror that I ended up losing, and that guy ended up getting 5th. Shout out to Nathaniel Potter.
Yeah, that game 3 was tough. The Tenpai Mirror match just seems like whoever has the most non-engine wins.
Yeah, he had the full Zelantis Raging Phoenix line, and he deburied me before going into his battle phase. I'm like, oh my, hey man, you got it.
That was crazy. Have you ever thought about playing that line just to play with D Barrier in the Tenpai mirror?
I've thought about it. I just don't feel like buying Raging Phoenix because I was playing Snake Eyes before this, and I sold my Raging Phoenix, and I just don't feel like buying it again.
That's I mean that's pretty fair.
I
Um,
haven't missed it personally. There's maybe one game that I could have used it to win, but I ended up winning the match anyway, so I kind of just said meh to that.
well, congrats on your top again. And then, do you have any shoutouts?
Yes, I'd like to shout out Gage from Alien Card Games for putting me on the channel and also going with me to this regional and having a good time. Shout out my boys Colby and Trey from Team by Nature for being up there at the regional and hyping me up and supporting me the whole way. Shout out my boy Sam for also being there. And shout out my team, Damage Step Gaming. Unfortunately, none of them could have came with me, but they were cheering me on from home. And more importantly, shout out my mom for being my biggest cheerleader.
All right, man, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you giving me the deck profile, and I'll catch you later.